Welcome to Birds of Prey Sports, where we weekly cover Ravens and Orioles and news. We're your hosts, TJ and Jared. And in this video, we're going to be doing a pregame for upcoming matchup against the Los Angeles Rams. Game which is going to be hosted here at the bank. We'll be there, and we can just get started. So my opening thoughts about this game. I don't think it's going to be a game we're going to win. I think it's going to be an ugly game to match with the ugly weather. But you know, good thing that it's closer to the bye week. We can get ourselves healthy. We can get ourselves, hopefully back together if we need to make any moves or whatnot. And I feel like today's game, I want to see a bit more from the offense. I feel like that's if we even have a chance, I feel like that would be the key to even keeping us in the game. I feel like we need to start establishing a run game with Derrick Henry. People thought we were going to do that last week against the Texans and just run Derrick Henry to the ground, but we couldn't do that. And if we're gonna, I feel like it's important to at least go into the bye week with something positive. And if we're going to have something positive, at least let's get some consistency, some momentum with Derek. Because right now, it's like four straight games he's been under 50 yards rushing. And, that cannot continue even with Lamar, after this bye week. So if we're going to lose this game, if we're going to get blown out, at least let that be a positive. Because if we can't still establish nothing with Derek, then it's going to be a long season with, maybe 4 to 5 more losses. You know, I'd also say it's important to really get Isaiah Likely going. He didn't get. I don't think he got any catches last week. He probably got like one target or something. But we really need to get him going. Especially, there's rumors about us trading Mark Andrews. And Isaiah Likely, he's our future at tight end. So we really need to get him going. He's really an important vocal part of the offense.
He
You
had more
know,
penalties and freaking receptions last week, I think.
Yeah, that wasn't his best game, but I feel like if we give him the ball a couple of times and really get his juices flowing, back into the game, he'll be all right. That'll be another positive to take into the bye week. But overall, I just want to see a lot more fight from the offense. I really do. I already expect what's going to happen from the defense, but the offense has to be better. It really does. So what's your thoughts?
I don't really expect much today, if I had to be honest with you. I'm just going there maybe to get a popcorn and just chill out with you the whole time, because that's really what it is going to be about today, because I really don't see any growth in this team from week to week. In fact, the only growth I see is negative growth, where it seems like we're getting worse and worse. And I know injuries have a lot to do with that. We're getting guys back like Kyle Hamilton today, and Marlon Humphrey, but I don't know how much that's going to help. Obviously, we traded away to the
Yeah.
Chargers for I think Aloy Gilman, I think that's what his name is, and I think we got a
Yep.
fifth round pick as well. We have like 10 fifth round picks all of a sudden, so I don't expect much today from these guys. This is really just a pathetic group of guys who really got assembled, who, just don't seem to have any heart. And I don't know if that's on the coaches at this point or if that's on the players. I mean, how can you coach heart, at this point? I feel like a lot of these guys need to come in with pride, not to get their asses beat, for the third straight week. But I don't know, they don't seem to give a shit. So I mean, like I don't know why like I don't know what to expect, and it just seems like it's the same pattern every week, at this point. I don't think we're going to see anything positive going in and out of this game. I think it's just going to be a classic, butt whooping today, just like last week, and we're going to leave asking the same questions, and it's going to be the same thing every week, and it's going to be Harbaugh getting up on that podium saying that we're close, Zach Gore saying we need to be more physical, Monken saying that we all need to lock in as a unit. And that's just all it's going to be. They're going to say the same things. We're going to watch the same things. There's not going to be any growth. If we come out of this game with any kind of positives, I will genuinely be surprised. Just anything. It could literally be nobody got hurt at the end of the game, and I'd be surprised. So I don't know. I don't expect much from this offense. I don't expect much from this defense. I mean, Lamar Jackson is this offense. He's the battery that helps, run the ship and or run this whatever, or he's the cog in the machine, whatever you want to call it. And when he's not out there, it's just terrible. And he masks a lot of problems with his team. He masks a lot of problems with Harbaugh. I mean, he saved his damn job, and when Lamar comes back, he might need to do it again. And I kind of hope that he doesn't, in all seriousness. I don't want to repeat of 2018, so I mean, maybe, the bye week can fix things. Maybe it can. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will. I don't know. But I mean, they don't have Metabike now, for the whole season. I mean, they haven't had him for the rest of the season, for the past few weeks. But there's going to be no pass rush. All I can hope is that maybe the three safety look will open up Kyle Hamilton. Maybe the defense could look a little bit more serviceable, and not give up 40 points again. But I mean, we have no pass rush. We can't block. So it's like, what are we supposed to expect? And it's going to be raining possibly today. So, I mean, it's going to be like these guys are going to slip and sliding probably. I don't even want to know what Puka Nacua is going to do on us today. So like, and Matthew Stafford, I mean, funny enough, I think the only time Matthew Stafford has looked bad against the Ravens was in 2021. We had all our backups in. So maybe that's something to hang your head on. Maybe that's something to look forward to, where it's like, okay, maybe he'll look bad today. He threw two picks to, I think, Chuck Clark in that game. They still wound up winning, but it looked better. But I mean, even that team had more fight than this one. So, I mean, I don't know what to expect today. It's really just a confusing matchup, and not really confusing. I think it's pretty, clear what this matchup's going to look like. I just don't know what we're going to look like. Maybe we'll have heart. Maybe we won't. I don't know, but I don't expect it.
Yeah, and also, you're talking about the defense a little bit. I also went to mention, you know, like how you said, we did bring in guys like Gilman. We even brought in guys like CJ Gardner Johnson.
Yeah.
We all know, what he can bring to a team, the type of attitude he brings. And, me and you were talking about this earlier, or I think yesterday. I don't even think he's playing. He's still in the practice squad. And I know there are some teams out there that would need a guy like CJ Gardner Johnson. I really feel like, we should have put him out there today. But that's typical Raven stuff for you. I
Yeah,
feel
right.
like, we need leaders out there. And that's the thing about this team right now. I don't think we really have leaders. I mean, I think these guys are soft. I really do. I mean, you see guys like Marlon, he's doing podcasts after the game. He doesn't look frustrated at all after a loss. You see KVN making TikToks of his wife. I mean, I'm not trying to say that these guys can't have an outside life outside of football, because obviously they're human beings and they can, but it seems like after every loss, there's no frustration. It's just, oh, we're close. We're going to get there. You guys have been showing that you're going to do that. So you should play a guy like CJ Gardner Johnson, who's won a Super Bowl. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, has that dog mentality, and can possibly, bring out some different type of attitude in your teammates. We don't have no dogs on this defense right now. And I think that was a missed opportunity in my opinion. So, we'll see what the pass rush is looking like today. I don't expect it to be, in any of it either. Maybe Mike Green can create some pressures, maybe Tavius Robinson, but I feel like that's kind of asking for too much now. We don't really expect a lot from these guys besides being like rotational pieces. If guys like Matabike or Owe, if we had kept him, or KVN, needed a break or something. So, hopefully, these guys can just allow whatever Rams players I got on my parlays to get their points or their yardage or whatever, and we can call it a day so I can get my money. But besides that, I don't expect, much from this Ravens defense. So we can
Mhm.
just get to the stat.
All right. Before we get to the stats, we're going to talk about the injury report going into this game for both
Oh
teams.
yes.
So shout out to this user here, for making this graphic here. But anyways, or maybe they didn't make it, but can this get out of the way? I'm trying to read the injury report. This freaking screen sharing thing's in the way. But anyways, so for the Los Angeles Rams, Colby Parkinson, he has a concussion. He was limited all week. He's questionable for the game. I'd imagine he doesn't play. Kamar Kitchens, I almost said Kitchens. He has a knee injury. He was limited on Wednesday, but practicing full Thursday and Friday. He should be good to go. No injury. Nate Landman has an ankle injury. He was limited for 2 of the 3 practices, but was full on Friday. He has no injury designation. Omar Splites, Spites, I can't tell. It's a little. I need to put my glasses on or something. Has an ankle injury. He didn't practice all week. He's doubtful for the game. Tyler Higbee has a hip injury. He didn't practice on Wednesday. Practiced both Thursday and Friday, but Thursday in a limited fashion. But he has an injury designation, so he should be good to go. Rob Havenstein has an ankle injury. He didn't practice all week. He's doubtful to go for this game. He probably won't. Tutu Atwell has a hamstring injury. He popped up on the injury report on Thursday. He practiced full on Wednesday. He was limited Thursday and Friday. He's questionable for the game. Puka Nacua and Alaric Jackson, both were not injury related. If it's just rest on Friday, they'll be good to go. Our grocery shopping list of injuries for the Ravens still continues as Jadobi Awuzie still has the hamstring injury. He did come back on Friday in a limited fashion, but he is out for this game. Zay Flowers popped up with a shoulder injury on the injury report. He was limited all week and he's questionable for today's game. Wonder if he got hurt in the Texans game. Kyle Hamilton's groin injury. He was limited on Wednesday, but practiced on full Thursday and Friday. He's no injury designation. He'll be good to go. Marlon Humphrey's calf injury. He didn't practice on Wednesday, but he did practice both Thursday and Friday. He has no injury designation, so he'll be good to go. Lamar obviously missed all week with a hamstring injury. He'll be out in this game. Cooper Rush will be a starting quarterback. Emory Jones coming back from his shoulder surgery. He's full all week, but he's still out. They're probably going to take that 21-day window coming off the injury reserve. Joseph Noteboom had an ankle injury. He was limited all week. Sorry, he was limited on Wednesday, but practiced full on Thursday and Friday. He has no injury designation. I would imagine he starts if Ronnie Stanley can't go. Patrick Ricard came back to practice finally. He was limited on Thursday and Friday, but he is out for this game. I'd imagine he might be back for the Bears game. Roger Rosengarten has a knee injury. He was limited on Wednesday, but practiced on full both last 2 days. He has no injury designation. He's good to go. Roquan Smith also has a captain. I'm sorry, has a hamstring injury. He didn't practice all week. He's out for this game. Ronnie Stanley has an ankle injury. He was limited on Wednesday, but practiced on full Thursday and Friday. He has no injury designation, so he'll probably be good to go. Devontae Walker was limited on Wednesday and Thursday with an oblique injury. He did not practice on Friday. He'll be out for this game. And Ben Cleveland was missing from Thursday's practice, but practiced in full. Oh, it says he had a personal excuse, so maybe some family event. But he'll be ready to go or ready to sit on the bench the whole time. This Harbaugh hates him. So obviously we're injured to hell and they're not. So that sucks. But to move on to the stats here, for the Los Angeles Rams. They average 24.6 points per game. That's 14th in the league. They average 401.8 yards per game. That's second in the league. They average .389 points per play, which is 18th in the league. They average 6.4 yards per play, which is first in the league. Their third down conversion rate is at 40.35%, which is 14th in the league. The fourth down conversion rate is at 62.50%, which is 16th in the league. Their red zone scoring touchdowns percentage is at 52.38%, which is 24th in the league. And their touchdowns per game is at 2.8, which is 12th in the league. Their rushing statistics, they run the ball 38.92% of the time, which is 26th in the league. They average 4.6 yards per rush, which is 12th in the league. They average 24.6 yards per rushes per game, which is 24th in the league. They average 112.2 rush yards per game, I'm sorry, which is 21st in the league. And the rush touchdowns per game is at .6, which is 21st in the league. So no excuse for our run defense today. I'll tell you that. Um, but their passing statistics are where they really make their money. They throw the ball 61.8% of the time, which is seventh in the league. Their completion percentage is at 66.3% or 30%, which is 16th in the league. They average 8.2 yards per pass, which is sixth in the league. They average 36.8 passes per game, which is fourth in the league. So they really sling that thing around. Um, They average 289.6 pass yards per game, which is second in the league. Their interception throwing percentage is at 1.09%, which is sixth in the league. And their QB sack percentage is at 4.66%, which is ninth in the league. So they don't really allow Matthew Stafford to get sacked, and they really sling the rock around. So it could be a long day for our secondary today.
Yeah, and going on to their defense, overall defense, they allowed 21.4 points per game, which is 13th. Oh, I should have my glasses too, which is 13th in the league. Oh my God, allergies. Opponent yards per game is 309, which is 10th in the league. Opponent points per play is 0.33, 331, which is 11th. Opponent yards per play is 4.8, which is 5th. Opponent third down conversion percentage is 35.29, which is 8th. Opponent fourth down conversion percentage is 90.91. Wow, it's just 30th. So should be no excuses if we get ourselves in a 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. We should be able to get that.
Find a way.
Pointed red zone scoring
No,
percentage.
we'll call it four verts or something.
Yeah, or we'll punt it. Pointed red zone scoring percentage is 53.33, which is 7th. So again, once we get to the red zone, we should score.
Yep.
Opponent touchdowns per game is 2.0, which is 5th. As for their rushing statistics on defense, opponent rush play percentage is 41.49, which is 10th. Opponent yards per rush is 3.5, which is 3rd. Opponent rushes per game is 26.8, which is 21st. Opponent rush yards per game is 93.6, which is 10th. And rush TDs per game is zero point 0.4, which is first. That goes to their passing defense. Opponent pass play percentage is 58.51, which is 23rd. Opponent completion percentage is 66.67, which is 16th. Opponent yards per pass is 6.9, which is 14th. Opponent passes per game is 34.8, which is 23rd. Opponent pass yards per game is 215.4, which is 18th. And opponent interception thrown percentage is 1.72, which is 17th. Sack percentage is 7.94, which is 11th.
Yeah, I'll just say our offense is probably gonna get steamrolled today. I mean, what? I mean, I couldn't imagine a world where, the Rams don't stack the box versus Derrick Henry and company. So, anyways, to move on to individual player statistics here, Matthew Stafford he's played all 5 games so far. He is 122 for 183, which is good for a 66.7 completion percentage for 1,503 yards. He averages 8.2 yards per throw. He averages 300 yards a game, pretty much. He has 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and he has 107.3 quarterback rating. Um, their rushing statistics, Kyron Williams has 82 carries on for 368 yards for 4.5 yards per carry. He has 1 touchdown on the year and he averages 73.6 yards per game. Blake Corum has 24 carries for 133 yards. He averages 5.5 yards per carry, 1 touchdown, and he averages 26.6 yards per game. Puka Nacua has been absolutely insane this year. On 5 games, he has 52 receptions on 62 targets, 588 yards. That's 11.3 yards per catch. He only has 2 touchdowns on the year, but he averages 117.6 yards per game. So that might be interesting to see what it's going to look like today. Devontae Adams has 22 receptions for 46 yards. I'm from 46 targets. I'm sorry. 357 yards. He averages 16.2 yards per reception. He has 3 touchdowns on the year, and averages 71.4 yards per game. Tutu Atwell, he was questionable coming into this game, but he only has 4 receptions on 9 targets, 164 yards. He averages 41 yards per catch. He has 1 touchdown. I think that was a game winner versus the Colts, and he averages 32.8 yards per play. Kyron Williams has 16 receptions on 21 targets for 118 yards. He averages 7.4 yards per catch. He has 3 touchdowns on the year, and he averages 23.6 yards per catch. Surprising with tight ends. I mean, Tyler Higbee up here, he has 6 receptions on 11 targets for only 62 yards. So, not really a tight end offense. I mean, 3 receivers that are eating along with a running back. So, that's pretty interesting. So
Yeah.
you want to read off the defensive statistics here?
And going on to their defense, Cam Curl, their starting safety, has 42 total tackles. Nate Landman has 41 total tackles. Quentin Lake has 33. Byron Young has the cursor is over.
I'm sorry.
He has 29. Cameron Kinchins has 26. Omar Spates has 24. Jared Verse, he's probably going to sack Cooper Rush a lot in this game. He has 22 total tackles. Tyler Davis has 17. Jalen McCullough has 16. Kobe Durant has 14. Kobe Turner has 13. And Puna Ford has 13 himself.
Read off the sacks here.
When it gets to their sacks, Byron Young has 5.5 sacks. Jalen McCullough has 2 sacks. Jared Verse has 2 sacks, which is kind of surprising so far, but he might be getting double teamed. Kobe Turner has half a sack, and no, 1.5 sacks, my bad. And Josiah Stewart, Cam Curl, Puna Ford, and Tyler Davis all have 1 sack.
It's gonna be a long day for these guys. Let's deal with that defensive front.
Yeah, as far as interceptions, they don't have a lot of interceptions so far. Cam Curl has 2, and Kobe Durant has 1. But after this game, they'll probably have a couple.
All right, they're getting a 3-piece today, so they might get as many as they have all year. Um, we can you want to do this now, or do you want to save it for afterwards?
You can do it now.
All right, so just to kind of do a little recap here, the Ravens. TJ last week, unfortunately, predicted the Ravens to win 17-13. Unfortunately, that did not happen, and he went 6-8 last week. So, not your best week, man. I mean, you had a great week last week, but you're due for a good week because it was a good week, bad week, good week, bad week. So this week you're due for a good week. But for me, I went 8-6. That's my second straight good week in a row. I predicted the Ravens to lose 31-9, and I was pretty close to that. So, anyways, before we get not before, but I guess we can get right into it. Who do you think's gonna win this London game that's happening right now between the Broncos and Jets?
Well, the Broncos are currently winning right now, so I would say they, close it out and win the game.
Right.
I'll go with the Steelers to win against the Browns.
Okay.
Go with the Chargers to win against the Dolphins. I'll go with the Raiders to win against the Titans, even though it's a tricky game.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks are going to beat the Jaguars. I think the Rams will win. I think the Colts will beat the Cardinals. I think the Patriots will beat the Saints. Packers will win. Lions is going to win that game. I think the Bills take that. I will say the Cowboys, Buccaneers, and the Bears.
Bears. Okay. Okay. All right. So for me, I'm going to agree here. I am going to say, oh, I'm going to be stupid here and say the Browns are going to win. I'm going to go Titans. I like that. I'll definitely like that. Uh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna go Falcons here, actually.
I wouldn't be
Um,
surprised. I look at when you pick them too.
I'm gonna say Falcons. That's good. You know what? Shock the world, Bryce. I'm gonna go Commanders. So this is mine for this week. Hopefully, I get some good upsets in there. Like Atlanta. But I guess we can finish it off here. Talking about breakout player, bold prediction, breakout player, and score prediction, which we already know who you have winning, but we need to score. So you can go ahead.
So bold prediction, I would just say, I mean, it shouldn't be a bold prediction, but I would just say Derrick Henry finally, breaks that, like 3 game curse he's had of under 50 yards. I say he has 70 yards in this game. It's a bold
Okay.
prediction. Breakout player, um, I can't really think of any. I mean, I'll just say Derrick Henry.
Okay. When you got a score
And
prediction here?
score prediction, I think it's going to be 34-17. The Rams win.
Okay. That was a score for the Giants and Eagles game.
Yeah.
So my breakout player, or my bold prediction is that I think Matthew Stafford breaks the single game record for most touchdowns thrown in a game, with 8. I think a bold or breakout player. I'm gonna go breakout people. Say me and you for going to the game, in the first place, sitting out in the rain watching that team. At least we'll be in. I think we're under overhang though, so we don't gotta worry about that. Um,
Yeah.
so we're not gonna worry about that. Maybe we can go with Hardball and tell him to go F himself. I think the Ravens lose 63-14.
63.
Yeah,
You serious?
I'm not even playing. I'm gonna go 63-14. I think
Bro,
Puka
if
gets like 50
somebody,
yards.
if we lose, somebody needs to be fired. Like, really, somebody
They
needs to be
won't. I mean,
fired for
they'll be just be like, they'll say some dumb shit, like we'll get Hardball's freaking soapboxes up there. But anyways, that's my prediction, 63-40. Hopefully, I'd rather your prediction, but it's still not great.
it. Yeah, well, this is going to be a tough game. A game that we both don't see the Ravens winning, but all it is just to get to the bye week. Get healthy and just try to run the table. But I believe that's what we got for you guys in this video. Just a quick game, a pre-game video. We'll be there at the game. So hopefully, if you guys are going to be at the game, comment that down below. Also comment down below what's going to be your breakout players. Well, you'll probably see this after the game's already started. So just still comment down below. Also check out our social medias, our Instagram, our TikTok, our Twitter. Also check out our second channel, Casual Cinema. We'll be seeing a movie soon, so we'll get a video on there. And that's all we got for you guys today. Happy Sunday. We're Brush Play Sports from
Wow. Fuck.